Distinguished guests, dear students of the Chopin promotion, dear parents, dear friends and colleagues. I would like to welcome you, and I would like to warmly welcome you to this closing ceremony of the academic year 2015-16. If I say closing ceremony, I must say it has again been a very short year. Each year we think on the side of the college how fast these years passed, and again it's a moment where you have two sides. On the one hand, it's a moment of elation because we are very proud of our students who have completed this year and have completed it so well and with so much enthusiasm. On the other hand, it's also with a certain note of sadness that we actually say this, because you students of the Chopin promotion, are going to leave us now very soon. Let me also, by way of another short opening remark, thank Pastor de Gruet for again lending us this splendid church as a venue for the closing ceremony. The College of Europe is, of course, an entirely secular institution, but we enormously appreciate the possibility to hold the closing ceremony in this splendid example of church architecture in Europe. Personally, I think it's the most beautiful church in Bruges, and we also appreciate it very much because formerly this church was part of the Jesuit college in which today part of the college's premises are located. You students of the Chopin promotion are today going through a rite de passage. At the moment, you are still students of the college of the 2015-16 Chopin promotion, but when this ceremony ends, you will be alumni of the college. So you are passing from one status to another, from one phase of your life to another. I think that you students of the Chopin promotion are privileged, and this in at least 4 different respects. Firstly, you are part of a unique community which you have created during this year of living and working together at the college. It's by your daily living together, by opening your minds to the over 50 different cultures, national backgrounds from which you were coming, that you have brought something to this community which is indeed unique. You have done your bit of breaking down barriers, of potential misunderstandings, non-knowledge about other cultures, and you have made an effort to better understand your respective backgrounds. Ultimately, at the end of this year, you have created a truly European and transnational community, and this is in the best sense of the esprit du collège. And this is something which you will take with you as alumni of the college, and you will take it with you for the whole of your life. When I meet alumni communities in various countries, as I did last week in London, I can always sense this esprit of belonging together to a very special community. To belong to such a community is a privilege. Secondly, I think you are privileged because you have benefited from a study offer which we think in its own way and nature is still very much unique. It's not only that we try each year hard to combine a program with the best available expertise in the different disciplines on European Union related issues, but there are also quite a number of other elements in the program, such as the distinguished lecture series, the simulation games, the participation in international competitions, which all add up to quite a special package in terms of knowledge and skills transfers. I have to say that the knowledge which we have tried during this year to transfer to you, the factual knowledge, will probably outdate relatively fast, because the European construction is evolving, the international environment is evolving, and you have in all of the disciplines in which you have studied, you have quite a major dynamic of change. But what will last longer, I think, is that you have acquired a different mindset of actually looking at the problems, the challenges of European diversity in the context of European cooperation in a different way, by trying to use knowledge from different fields to proceed with an optimal analysis, to actually think constructively how to overcome challenges of cooperation across borders, and how to be open to different fields of knowledge and different methods and different ways of actually combining and integrating this. Again, if I speak to former students of the college, they will quite often say, oh yes, the college tortured us a lot on detailed knowledge on European law, about European economics. And when I started my job, quite fast, I realized that part of the knowledge, the hard factual knowledge, I could not use, or that started to get outdated. But there is something which I learned at the knowledge, and this is how to really identify problems, look at them, try to find solutions, and looking across borders how to solve the problems which were at hand. And this the alumni appreciate a lot. So I think from this perspective as well, you are actually privileged, because you will take with you, and this as a result of your hard work and your openness of mind during the year at the college, a specific mindset which I think will enable you to tackle professional and perhaps even personal challenges better in the future. The third privilege I would like to mention is the fact that you have spent a year in one of the most beautiful European citizens, which each year attracts more than 5 million tourists. So you have not been a tourist to the city, you have had the privilege to actually live here, to experience it. You have experienced it from all different perspectives. I think you have a better idea what the Bruges weather is about, and we still hope that the Bruges weather will be clement with us this afternoon and not send us rain when we have the reception in the courtyard later. You have certainly walked kilometers and kilometers between the different buildings of the college to attend classes coming from your residences. You have had the experience of using extensively bikes in Bruges, etc., etc. So I think you have really a living experience in Bruges, and the city has honored you, has honored your presence in the city by making you honorary citizens of the city of Bruges just 2 days ago. So this is also something I think quite rare and a privilege. And finally, let me also, because as a rector I also have to deal obviously with financial aspects, you have also benefited, those who have actually contributed made their own contribution to funding of the year a bit less, but all students you are here have benefited from European taxpayers' money, from the European Union budget support, from the Belgian government support, from the scholarships provided by national grant-giving authorities. And I can tell you it's an above-average investment what the European taxpayer has made into your higher education and an investment into the future, which I think should be recognized and really also is a privilege. So, national governments, European Union authorities think that you merit this sort of investment as an investment in the future of Europe and the cooperation between Europe and the third countries many of you are coming from. And this is also something which clearly cannot simply be granted. It's a privilege. Now, I have talked about a lot now that I think you are actually privileged as students and future alumni of the college, but I also think that you have merited to be privileged in several respects. Now, one has to say, and I think you would agree with me, that this has been a very intensive year. There has been quite a bit of pressure on you in terms of the study programs. I can remember when I was still a visiting professor at the college and I saw some of you in the morning at the Audisac residence, that especially during the exam period, some of your predecessors looked like zombies, rather pale and very stressed. And I have to admit that the college doesn't make the success at the end of the year easy in terms of the number of papers to write, the exams, the master thesis, the participation in quite a number of other activities. And now, as you are here, you have lived through this, and well, not too many of you now look pale and too stressed. So I think you have survived it and survived it well, and it has taken a lot of effort. So this is part of the reason why I think you clearly have merited also to be privileged. It's not an easy thing to actually go through this year at the college, because apart from the mere study pressure, there are some specific additional challenges. You clearly have had the experience that the teaching styles of our faculty can be very different from one course to another. And on purpose, the Academic Council does not harmonize teaching styles. We want to expose to you to different ways of arguing, to professors who may teach in a more interactive way, but also to professors who may prefer ex cathedra teaching with much less interaction. So the constant change of teaching styles and cultures, how to actually present arguments to you and how to transfer knowledge, is part of the experience, but it does not make this year at the college easier. And let's also not forget that you have all gone through teaching in two languages, in English and French, which remains one of the hallmarks of the program. But you have also merited these privileges which I mentioned because of the many additional tasks and activities which you have taken on voluntarily, such as participation, and very successful participation, in the US State Department sponsored initiative P2P Challenging Extremism, which will lead some of you to go to Washington next week in order to present the project and to be honored by the US State Department with even an appearance before the National Security Council of the United States. You have been very successful with the diplomacy awards which you have got in the Model United Nations, and you have created a lot of other frameworks and sustained a lot of other initiatives, such as the College of Europe Energy Group networking activities, the SCGE team, the digital group, the Young European Federalist group, and well, I could read out half a page of different initiatives which you have taken on in parallel to your studies. So this shows that you are very engagé, that you really are willing to explore still other horizons, to invest in other ventures outside of the study programs, and this is also very much to your credit. You also were the first promotion to establish a newspaper, La Voix du Collège, which turned out to be a very professionally run quality publication, covering topical issues both of the European construction and college life. I must say I have the latest copy here. I will just take it out to show. Well, the college is very proud that this promotion is the first to actually have come up with La Voix du Collège. Congratulations to the editing team. If you want to have a look at this edition now, you will also see there's a lot about the Brexit debate, which are really substantial contributions. I have to say, this Voix du Collège has at a certain moment brought me into certain trouble, because in the administrative council, where we have the ambassadors of the member state, there was one representative who actually asked me how I had endorsed as a rector a critical article about a certain member state government, and then I said, well, but that is the academic freedom, and that's why we are proud of the students of the college. So this clearly was never censured on the side of the college. It is a clear proof of the vibrant spirit of the promotion Chopin. I would also like to mention here the particular effort you, as students of the college, put this year into charity work. You have contributed to Families of Flanders by organizing a special musical event for Alzheimer patients here in Bruges. You have contributed to Red Cross fundraising, and you have contributed to finding tents and sleeping bags for refugees in Calais. I think the fact that you have also found the time and done the effort on top of all the other activities to engage in charity work during the 9 months here show that you are not blind to human suffering outside of the small world of the college, that you are willing to take responsibilities, social responsibilities, serious in the wider sense. It augurs very well for the future of the role of the students of the Chopin promotion. And last but not least, I would also like to say that, yes, hear me, all your numerous parties, yes, all your numerous parties also have contributed a lot to make this year special. And we know in the college administration side and the side of the academic faculty how much of an effort you have put into national days, parties, and a lot of other parties. I think it would be difficult to have a complete list of all the parties which have actually been organized in all the residences over the year. And I also know that some of my colleagues, including myself, occasionally we have a bit of a concern, because of course our primary responsibility is to put you in a position to successfully pass your exams at the end of the year. But ultimately these parties are also part of the college formula, because this is common work. This makes other students better understand the nationalities which are actually celebrating the National Day. So this is really part of the college experience, and I would add it to the reasons why you are rightly privileged. So yes, you are privileged, but you also have merited to be it. But let us not forget at this moment where we talk about privileges, where we talk about merits, let us not forget those who have actually enabled you to get there where you are now in this rite de passage towards becoming an alumnus, an alumna of the college. One of the reasons why we started 2 years ago is a new tradition of opening this closing ceremony to your parents and family members has been to give to your families, to your parents, credit for what they have done for you to enable you to become candidates to the college and to reach in the end this objective of graduating from the college. Your parents, your families have done a lot to provide a stimulating and supportive family framework and education which has nourished, maybe even in the first place awakened, an interest in European and international affairs and international cooperation. Many of your parents had to make financial sacrifices to actually enable you to get there where you are now. And I wish to thank all parents present here in this venue today for these efforts. Thank you for having actually brought to us these students with your support, such excellent students, which actually the college is so proud to have. Thank you. I also wish to thank here, and I'm sure you students will join me on that, all those at the college who have tried their best to make this year a special year for you, a year which has enabled you to study, but a year also to enjoy and to feel well at the college. My thanks go, of course, to the members of the academic faculty, the members of the academic corps, the directors of studies, the full-time and visiting professors, and also, certainly last but not least, the academic assistants, who went to great lengths to support you, I think, well beyond your class obligations. The academic office had to answer an avalanche of questions and to deal with an avalanche of special problems. They certainly have met this as well. You have had a lot of support from the language service and director, from your student affairs officer. Then let's not forget all the other services of the colleges, the administration and finance service and directors, the IT service. I can say each year students expect more IT support and to use more IT capacity. So also I think the IT services have to be thanked for this. And also let's not forget two other very relevant services, the kitchen of the college, which has I think made you know, it's quite a challenge to cook for 50 different nationalities, and you will always have some customers not satisfied with the type of food, with the way the food is cooked. And I think the kitchen has really tried to make its best, and the kitchen has also cooked quite a few dishes probably they had never heard of before with the start of the year, in order to satisfy certain demands. So I think they deserve credit for this. And then also let's think about the resident staff, the resident ladies, who actually each year do their best to create a home-like atmosphere in the residences. And also sometimes if one of you did not feel so well, I'm sure the residence ladies try to actually provide some more support. So they add a lot to the family atmosphere at the college. So normally when one has arrived at the moment of thanks, one approaches the end of speeches quite often, which are already too long. Up to you whether this one is already too long, to decide whether this one is already too long. But before I end my speech, there are two aspects that I would like to cover. One is that there is a tradition at the college that on the occasion of the closing ceremony, the director then announces the choice of the next patron de promotion. The guiding motive for the choice of the next patron de promotion is to honor one of the most influential and at the same time, now at least, most controversial economists of all time. A man who dared to really think outside of the box, as we hope you students, future alumni will do as well, to think outside of the box of existing theories and approaches. A man who thought early about economic and financial challenges facing Europe as a whole, and not only individual countries. A man who innovated the thinking about the economic responsibilities of the state and who made the force of his intellect generously and constructively available to policymakers of his time. In addition, he had the quality, if I may use the term quality in this context, of being British, reminding us of the enormous contribution which the United Kingdom has made to the intellectual and political foundations of the Europe we know today. This at a time when the continued membership of the United Kingdom is put so much at risk. And this because of a curious, strange and menacing combination of ideological arguments and misinformation. The next patron of the promotion, providing an outstanding example for what the United Kingdom has contributed, is contributing and will continue to contribute to the future of Europe, is John Maynard Keynes. But as we are looking forward to already the new patron de promotion, one final word, and this is the second aspect I still wanted to deal with, let's look back to this year's patron de promotion, Frédéric František Chopin. I said at the beginning of the year that that Chopin was surely worth to be the patron of your promotion, but that you still had to prove that you were worthy of Chopin as your patron de promotion. Yes, I think you have proven that by reaching out across the borders of national cultures and mentalities in your daily living and working together, that in the same way as Chopin, with the universal language of his compositions, were really willing to reach out across borders. So this is part of clearly the way in which you have lived, in a sense, in the spirit of Chopin. But at the same time, you have always also remained aware of your own national cultures and identity, and you have tried to make your fellow students better understand your respective national cultures and backgrounds. And Chopin has done the same with the Polish roots and the motives and the Polish motives behind many of his compositions. So he has combined both outreach and always remaining aware of his own roots as you did. So from this perspective, I think, yes, you can bear the name of members of the Chopin promotion with right and with pride. Let me finish by giving you a motto on your way, which I borrow from Louis de Groothuis, a Bruges patrician and one of the first truly European diplomats. He died in 1492, the year of, if one can use the term, the discovery of America, in his palace just 200 meters away from the college main building at the Diver. His motto was, "Plus est en vous," there is more in you. Take this motto with you from Bruges. From this year at the college, there is more in you. Not only more in terms of knowledge and skills, as we hope, which will help you with your future careers and responsibilities, but also because you have given to each other so much more in terms of better understanding, of openness of mind, of emotions, and of a community spirit. There will be surely challenges ahead for you, both professional challenges and personal challenges. There is certainly more uncertainty, less job security, and more rapid change in the world outside of the college than there was when I started to teach your predecessors in the 1990s. The context, in many respects, has become more challenging outside. And the European Union, the European construction, clearly faces today a very complex and in part more destabilizing set of challenges. But challenges also always mean opportunities. And let's not forget that one of the reasons why Europe attained a very prominent place in global history is because Europeans in past centuries found responses to challenges and found very forceful responses to challenges. So there are always opportunities. And I think that you now, at the end of this year, because of what you have learned, what you have experienced, you can say there is even more in you now. So if you face the challenges, if you think the going gets tough, and I think we all know that there are phases in life in which the going is tough, think about your year at the college, think about your fellow students, think that you made it through this year successfully and say, plus est en moi, there is more in me. Thanks very much. It's now my pleasure to hand over the floor to Eleonora Vector, President of the Association des Anciens, who represents more than 10,000 anciens of the college. Eleonora, always.
Monsieur le recteur, messieurs les professeurs, chers parents, chers étudiants, encore une année qui est passée. J'avais eu le plaisir de vous rencontrer au début de l'année pour vous parler de l'association. Et nous voici déjà en fin d'année. J'ai eu le plaisir de revoir certains d'entre vous lors du cours du professeur Bouzard où j'ai fait une petite intervention. J'étais en contact avec certains d'entre vous pour diffuser plus largement la voix du collège auprès des anciens. Je vous assure qu'elle a été très bien reçue, la voix du collège. Je ne peux que m'associer aux compliments du recteur et vous passer les compliments des autres anciens sur cette revue. Tout comme j'ai diffusé avec l'association votre Letter to UK qui a énormément touché les anciens, notamment des anciens très seniors qui ont étudié dans les premières années du collège et qui ont été vraiment touchés et émus de l'engagement de votre promotion. C'est donc avec beaucoup de plaisir que je vous retrouve maintenant et comme le recteur le disait, dans quelques instants, à la fin de cette cérémonie, vous serez parmi les anciens, parmi une communauté de plus de 12 000 anciens qui ont eu le privilège d'étudier au collège. At the Alumni Association, we aim at bringing alumni together and promoting the college. Bringing alumni together. Well, in these days of blind hatred, sheer violence, isn't it a bit naive to promote friendship and solidarity? Yes, among a very privileged community, but still, a community united by something else. You didn't come to the college by chance. You chose the college because you were interested in the European construction, because you believed in the European construction. And this shared belief is very much a hallmark of the college community. So we promote friendship and solidarity. Solidarity, you will feel it very soon. Perhaps you already benefited from it in the form of scholarship given by alumni of the college, and they brought you here. Solidarity as well in your professional life. You will see it when alumni read your CV and find that you studied at the college. Of course, they will interview you and they will choose you if you deserve it. But you will start with the huge advantage of having someone looking at you with favorable eyes. This is not to be undermined, not to be abused either, but still a very big privilege. Friendship. This year was intense. It will be unforgettable. Last weekend, I was with friends from my promotion, some of whom I had not seen for the past 10 years. And there we were in a garden with our children around us, sharing our memories and speaking about the future. I wish you many of such lovely afternoons. You will have them. Friendship or even love. I joked with you at the beginning of the year that you might be sitting next to your future husband or wife. If you have not found your love this year, don't despair. Being an alumnus is a very good conversation starter. And if I may share something with you, I first completely ignored my future sweetheart. I was working as a journalist and I thought he was one of these lawyers seeking publicity. I really neglected him, not interested. But then he said that he had been at the same anniversary dinner as me. His was his 20th, it was my 10th anniversary. And as president of the Alumni Association, I thought I should be kinder to him. So I decided to meet him, just because he was an alumnus. And the conversation is still going. So here I find myself moving to the UK, hopefully not outside the EU, because I met a college alumnus. Then let's go to why, beyond this why we want to promote all this. Let's move to how we do this. With the Alumni Association, we try to diversify the activities that can bring you together. We have started integrating thematic groups in our activities. The energy group was mentioned. It was started by Havel students when they were still students. We are glad to see that it continues, that you are taking over and continuing this initiative. We integrated it in the Alumni Association and it gave a good example. So now we are having a health group, plan to have an ICT group, plan to have also a women group to help young women, alumna, help other young alumna. We have regional groups. Some of you will come to Brussels, many of you will also go back to your home countries. Well, also there you can continue to spread friendship and solidarity among alumni by organizing activities in your hometown. Oftentimes it will be the capital. We provide support for that and want your activities to be known, promoted. The regional groups are also very important because we want to use them to help the college find the next generation of bright students. So really, if you want to get involved in the regional groups, let's get in touch. We organize, as I mentioned, famous anniversary dinners, conferences, debates. We try to provide support for your first steps in your professional lives. And we recently made a call for volunteers, because at the Alumni Association we are all volunteers, we are all alumni who have a full-time job, full-time private life, and we volunteer sometime for the association. And I'm very excited to see the great profiles of the people who are volunteering now to help at the Alumni Association. There is a a project to set up some mentoring program, to develop some further activity to help the alumni, the young alumni in their first steps of their career. And I'm very excited to welcome these new volunteers. As I mentioned, we are all volunteers, and you're most welcome to join the activities of the Alumni Association. As someone once said, you cannot make your life longer, but you can make it broader. You have this year engaged in many ways. You've shown your commitment to social causes. There is the Alumni Association. There are many other activities that require your commitment. So keep up the good work. Thank you.
adventures will happen today. So many songs we forgot to play. So many dreams singing out of the blue. Will let me come true. Forever young, I want to be forever young. Do you really want to live forever? Forever, forever, forever young. I want to be forever young. Do you really want to live forever? Forever, forever young. Forever young. I want to be forever young. Do you really want to live forever? Forever young.
Well, I would like to thank the trumpeters of the city of Bruges for the passage to the next section of the program, but also I would like to thank again the college choir for this excellent performance. They found the time in parallel to their studies also to rehearse for this musical contribution. So thanks very much. And I think Forever Young is a nice motto for promotion as well. So that you can consider. The trumpeters have actually announced the special part of the closing ceremony, which is the announcement of the prizes and awards won by you students of the Chopin promotion. And this part will start with the presentation of the laureates of each of the departments. I would like to start with the laureate of the Political and Administrative Studies program. It's Natalie Sadowski. Please come. The laureate is not here. You were a little bit hidden in the back. Yes, you are. Many congratulations. And then it's my pleasure to announce the laureate of the European Economic Studies program, Mr. Timothy de Meester de Betzenbroek. And for the European Legal Studies program, it's Caterina Molinari. Last but not least, for the Laureate of the International Relations and Diplomacy Studies programs, Mr. James Kane. After we have actually given recognition to the laureates of each program, we now come to another section of this award ceremony, and this is to pass to the many awards which are generously made available by institutions and organizations who want to support our students and the college. And it's my particular pleasure to welcome Michel Konings, President of Eurojust, who has again agreed to come personally to Bruges to deliver the Eurojust Award for the best thesis on judicial cooperation in criminal matters in the European Union. I would like to add that we have to give particular credit to President Konings because Eurojust is on the front line of the fight against terrorism in Europe, and as we all know, this is a challenge which probably has never been greater in the European Union, and that he has taken out the time to come over to award the prize is particularly incredible.
Thank you very much, Rector, Professors, dear and distinguished ladies and gentlemen, dear students, future alumni. In times of European bashing, we need to talk about Europe, and in times of the ultimate stress test of the European Union, we need to inform the European citizens. In times of unprecedented security threats related to terrorism, foreign terrorist fighters, illegal immigrant smuggling and cybercrime, we need to do even more about the promotion of European justice. And one of the students who have been digging in to European criminal justice is the one we have been thinking about to give the award. This student is Alexander Latinov, and we want to congratulate him.
It's now my pleasure to ask Mr. Muniz Martani to come forward and present actually the Google Prize for the best thesis on EU competition rules and policy relating to information technology. Please.
First, thank you very much to the college for the opportunity to present this prize and to be here today on what is a very, very special day. It's a privilege to share it with you all. This year, the fourth year of the Google Prize, I think we were all really glad to see, and we found incredibly interesting the quality of the writing for this thesis. It was extremely high, and what stood out was the courage to tackle quite difficult issues at this interface of EU competition law and technology, which continues to be topical in all the debates going on. But one of all of them, one did stand out particularly for its clarity, its thoughtfulness and its thoroughness on what is a constantly shifting topic and one that is itself very complex. And the prize goes to Miguel Angel de Diego Martin. Congratulations. Really amazing.
It's now my pleasure to ask Mr. Diego Lorenz Echegaray to present the Sergio Lopez Perona Memorial Prize for the best thesis on the EU's relations with the Middle East.
Thank you, Rector. Dear professors, dear students, it's a great honor to be here with you today to present the Sergio Memorial Prize. This is an initiative of the Marcus Aurelius Promotion in memory of our dear friend and colleague Sergio, who passed away 4 years ago. Sergio was an IRD student, like many of you here today, and he was also one of the brightest and most gifted minds among us. He was one of those very nice and popular people in the promotion that could just go out until the wee hours of the morning and then still attend to the courses and then cruise to his exams, so he was really quite special. He felt passionate about international relations, and he also felt passionate about the Middle East. So Sergio, after the college, he went to the Spanish representation in Brussels. It was the time of the Spanish presidency. He started making coffees for the ambassador, and 4 months later he was making speeches for the ambassador. After that, he went on to work for the ERJSLEX, which was the mission of the European Union in Baghdad, where he lived for a while. This is one of the reasons we decided to award this prize to the best thesis on the Middle East. We felt that this was an area as well where the European Union could really have an impact on common lives in the region. And with this prize, we hope to have encouraged many of you to write about these issues, to get interested about these topics, and ultimately to help contribute to improving the situation of people in that region. This year, the prize goes to a very well-written account of the EU's role in nuclear negotiations with Iran. The winner is Eric Jensen. Congratulations.
It's now my pleasure to call to the podium Ms. Nadia Rao Silvestro Rodriguez to present the Rafael Sanz Rodriguez Memorial Prize for the best thesis in the law department. Please.
Each year is higher. Thank you. It's a pleasure and an honor to be here again for the 13 years to give this prize. I have the privilege every day to coach a senior leader from the corporate world and the organization, a lot ancient from the college. Therefore, it's very easy for me to say why Rafa Sanz was a great leader. From one side, he had a brilliant cognitive intelligence. He was prepared, smart, and he started his career as a lawyer for Garrigues law firm and in Madrid, and then he made a career in Brussels. But most important, he had a brilliant, fabulous emotional intelligence. And for a lawyer, I can say, because I'm a former one, it's not so easy. So Rafa was able to understand, connect with the people, and create wonderful relationships. It was a joy for me to be his wife. Therefore, with the friends and the colleague from the Tocqueville promotion, we create this prize to honor Rafa, to cheers Rafa, but most important, to remember us and take him as a role model, as ancien from the college, to give back to the world all the beautiful values, knowledge, skills we have learned during this unique journey at the College of Europe. And I'm very happy to give this prize this year for the 13th time to Lucia Ondoli.
Thanks very much. I would also like to thank personally those two prize presenters before me for the moving tributes made to two former students of the college who unfortunately left this world far too early. It's now my pleasure to call to the podium Mr. Klaus Brodersen to present the IRD German Language Prize. Mr. Brodersen. Thank you.
Es ist mir eine große Freude, hier und heute den Preis für die beste Deutschstudentin oder den besten Deutschstudenten überreichen zu dürfen. The Goethe Institute is very proud to be partner of the College of Europe, and this for many years. German is one out of 5 languages taught at the college, and we enjoy very much promoting language skills and multilingualism. The winner is awarded a scholarship for a 2 weeks language course at the Goethe Institute in the heart of Berlin this summer. And the winner is Mr. Adrián Carbajo Arida.
Thanks so much. Well, you can see there are even prizes which actually include more teaching and learning. Good, thanks very much for that. So it's now my pleasure to ask Pietro Bertaggia to come forward and to announce the winner of the Börsen Marsteller Prize for the best thesis on the role of non-governmental actors in EU policymaking.
Hi, so as you might see, I'm not Alexander, I'm his colleague Laureate. I'm replacing him because as a good consultant, he's been called into a client emergency. So on behalf of Börsen Marsteller Brussels, I'm very happy to be here to give the prize for the best thesis on the role of non-governmental actors in EU policymaking. As a leading public affairs agency in Brussels, this prize is very important to Börsen Marsteller. Most of our staff has studied at the College of Europe, so maybe some of you will be part of the Börsen Marsteller family in the future. And the Börsen Marsteller Prize goes to Pietro Bertaggia.
Well, thanks very much for this announcement. And then we move to Professor Stöhl, who will announce the winner of the ENP Award for the best thesis on the European Neighbourhood policy.
Thank you. Well, as students know very well, we have courses on the European Neighbourhood policy, and as part of some of the scholarships, they even have to write a thesis on the European Neighbourhood policy. So this is a prize open to all Bruges students, and we had many applications. But unfortunately, only one can be the winner, even though many of them would have deserved a prize. The thesis that is actually the winning one is a thesis that tries to combine a theoretical approach with a case study from the ENP, and I'll read out the title first before the winner. It's "The Language Diplomats Speak, a discourse theoretical approach to the negotiations in the Euronest Parliamentary Assembly" by Thomas Jacobs.
And we remain in the field of the EU's, in the wide field of the EU's external relations by now moving to Professor Jing Men, who will announce the winner of the Bilateral Award for the best thesis on EU-China relations.
In the past 7 years, the title of the award was called Unbev Bilateral Award. But from this year on, the title is changed, which is Bilateral. Why? Because when we talk about InBev, people always think of beer. But of course, the award is not in the form of beer. It is €1,000. And this year, it goes to Thomas Adam.
I would now like to ask the Frederick de Ridder, sorry, apologies. It's a long list. I stole the effect. Mr. Gustavo Maranhas to come forward to announce the, I'm sorry, yes, I stole the show. To announce the Johnson & Johnson prize for the best thesis on a consumer-related topic.
Please, whoever is Frederick the Reader, please come here. Anyway, let me give my speech a second.
Sorry,
No, but stay still here with me. So, well, it's a pleasure to be here in the college today. I was here 19 years ago in the same promotion as Rafael Sanz, and I still keep these wonderful memories of that amazing year. And as the song says, I also want to be forever young, but unfortunately it's not possible. Today I'm here representing Johnson & Johnson. Johnson & Johnson started a collaboration last year with the College of Europe, and there have been several of you that have been working with us, Johnson & Johnson, to brainstorm on the future healthcare systems in Europe. We really appreciated this contribution. The final reports will be presented to the European Parliament in 2 weeks. I really want to thank the College of Europe for this amazing partnership and collaboration, and to the students for the great and creative ideas. We say in Johnson & Johnson that we touch the life of 1 billion people every day. Today we want to touch the life of one student, and you know who that is. And the prize this year goes to a very interesting thesis on the EU directive on falsified medicines. So, and the winner of the Johnson & Johnson 2016 award is Frederick de Ridder. Thank you. Can we take a picture together?
So in this case, the winner was announced twice, so I think it's in a certain sense also a privilege. Okay, I would now like to ask Professor James Mackey to actually come forward and announce the ECBM Award for the best thesis on new directions for EU relations with Africa. So, thanks very much.
Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, fellow staff, students, families. It's a great pleasure to be here. I work for ECDPM when I'm not working for the college, which is an institute in Maastricht in the Netherlands, a European Centre for Development Policy Management. And we focus on relations between the European Union and the ACP, the Africa, Caribbean and Pacific countries. And I have a pleasure to teach some of you about it during the year. But we've awarded a thesis prize now for 2 years, and this is the third year, on new directions for EU relations with Africa. This is because we want to encourage students to think about this issue. Our largest neighbour, continental neighbour to the south, our relations with them are extremely important. The prize consists of a 4-month internship at ECPM's Brussels office, and so this year we have awarded it to a very well written and tightly argued, fresh and critical systematic reassessment of the practice of election monitoring, European election monitoring in Africa. And the prize goes to Martin Ranceret.
Congratulations, sir. I would now like to ask Mr. Gianmarco Di Vita to present the prize, the European External Action Service, the award for the best thesis on EU external relations. Thanks for having come over from Brussels.
Thank you very much. Rector, professor, students, family and friends, it's a great honor and a privilege to be here in Bruges as one of the many anciens of the Spinelli promotion. I'm not going to tell you which year it was because it was a long time ago and this ceremony did not exist. I'm very happy to be here and to be able to give one of the prizes. But I would like just to have a word for you students. If we are all here, it's because we had an idea of Europe, an idea that you will bring with you and you will have to defend in these difficult times, and do it forcefully and with more success than my generation did. Anyway, we're here to give the third EAS award for the best thesis on EU external relations. The prize consists of a traineeship, paid traineeship for 5 months in the External Action Service in the headquarters in Brussels. But I should warn the winner. The two predecessors found a job. One is a press officer with the private office of the High Representative, Ms. Mogherini, and the other is working now at the delegation in Jakarta. So you may not be through with 5 months. The thesis we chose was, it was a difficult choice, as a very appealing title. Cooling Heads Under the Tropics, the Rationalization of EU-Cuba-US Relations. And the winner is Mr. Luca Gardenel.
I would now like to ask Mrs. Marie-Claire Picard to actually come forward and announce the winner of the prize of the European Federation of Pharmaceutical Industries and Associations for the best thesis on public policies impacting on the pharmaceutical sector. Thanks very much.
Good afternoon, everybody. As you can see, I come from Brussels, where it was pouring raining this morning, cold. I'm happy to be in Bruges again. This is the 15th edition of the FPA Prize. The prize is a one-year job, full contract with FPA. Some of the winners of previous years have either not come to FPA because they found another job before. As I always say, the prize is not a punishment, it should be an opportunity to start in the working life. And because I won't have the occasion to say it afterwards, because I know that the groupies will get up as soon as I announce the winner, I would also like, as an economist, express my appreciation to the director for having chosen Keynes. Keynes is indeed the guy that developed his theories in post-war economy. We are not post-war, but next year, I bet you OECD is right, we will again have growth. So the winner for the FPA Prize this year is Alejandro Sanchez Frias. And since he had really precious reference to history, to Greek antiques, he will have the full history of Europe, so that in Spanish, so that he can remind why we are doing what we do here. That's for you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's now my pleasure to ask Mr. Paul Iwan from the EPC to present the EPC Award for the best thesis on Europe in the world. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be for the second year here. Made it to the SNCB's technical problems and to the rain. I'm here to offer the European Policy Center Award for the best thesis in Europe in the world, which the award consists in a 5-month paid internship at the EPC. The prize goes for a very good thesis on the South Caucasus, written by Carlos Hovani Gil.
I now have the pleasure to ask Dr. Masłowska from Europol to present the Europol Award for the best thesis on EU internal security.
Thank you. Dear colleagues, please allow me to address you this way, because I truly believe that in Europol's efforts to make Europe a safer place, we can only achieve it doing it together. Everyone putting his or her share, making this place safer for us. When we speak about security, I would like to emphasize 3 key elements. One of them being threats. If you want to know more about it, switch on television, they will tell you more than I can tell you. The second one being this collaboration, for which I'm seeking cooperation from you for today. And the third one, education. Education, which is something we are celebrating today, and I believe this is the true award of each of you today, graduating. This is your key to many doors to be open, including reaching the inner security for you as personality. And I forgot what I would say. Well, with this inner security, we have to make our choices in our lives. And today is exactly the moment for each of you, which way you would like to go. And it is your choice either to be driven by fear by being afraid to be excluded from a luxury life and choose the path that promises you success and lots of money, or to follow your passion, which can also bring you to the same result, but through the love to the elements you believe are important in your life, the elements that you are good at and what you believe is something very important for you personally and for the society. Something that helps you to become a better person, better yourself. Today, with the award, we hope to address somebody's dream. We hope it's that person's dream to join Europol for an internship for a couple of months. And the person is Benjamin Tom. Smile together. Thank you. And to be official, that's the email address.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Well, I would like to thank Dr. Masłowska also for this personal message in terms of life choices, which I think is an important message which you have given. We move now to Mr. Nikolaus Beckelmans, who will actually announce the Exxonmobil Award for the best thesis on the future of energy in Europe.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. It is my honor as well to be with you here today to present the very first Exxonmobil Thesis Prize. We have been supporting the college for a while, for several years. It's the first time we do this now because I think it's important to work with the college on this and to stimulate the students to enter the debate, to find solutions to some of the energy and climate challenges Europe and the world are facing. And the number of excellent theses we received is reflecting also the interest in the subject matter. It was a very difficult task, but we have chosen the recipient of this thesis based on the author's rigorous analysis, insight the author has provided into the workings of the European Parliament in shaping the energy policy of Europe. And one might say is also one of the most, we might give the prize for one of the most original titles, which starts, and I quote, "For my next trick, I'll need a volunteer." That's the title of. Congratulations to meneer Thijs van den Bussen.
Thanks very much for that. We move then on to the Linklaters Prize for the best thesis on the economic analysis of European law, which will be presented by Mr. Bernard van de Walle de Gelke. Yes. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rector, dear colleagues, because I'm also teaching at the college, but today I am representing my firm, Linklaters. Economic analysis is a very important element and development in European law, and more especially in competition law. But economic analysis must be done in a way that lawyers can understand and that the judges can understand. And that's quite an art. And I'm very pleased that we selected a thesis that meets these criteria. It is written in such a way that the reasoning is based on economic theory, but is perfectly to be followed by a very simple lawyer and could be defended. And this is even more important that the subject, the topic, is very innovative and looks at a development in digital law. And I will reveal, of course, by the title, the winner, who can prepare himself. It's about a cross-platform parity agreement. Doesn't tell you anything, but if I say that this is the price that has to pay or has to be agreed for Amazon, Booking.B, TravelX, etc., to access platform, you will understand that this impacts our day-to-day life. And this is completely new. And I must say, the thesis is written so clearly, it's like a sonata de Chopin. The prize goes to Amin Mansour. I forgot to say what the prize consists of. Well, it is a 3 months remunerated traineeship in our firm. So I will be very pleased to welcome Amin, as it will suit him. This guy, I know he's very busy. He still has to prepare a PhD in Montpellier by the end of the year, so it will not be in the coming months, but expectations are very high. And what he has here there is the traditional kit that we give to first year or first day associates. So already very much welcome.
Thanks very much for this very nice presentation with the Chopin clarity that is, I think, will stay as a citation of this. Then I would like to move to the Meyer-Brown Prize for the best thesis on the impact of EU law on business, presented by Mr. Angel Alvarez Alberdi. Please. And thanks very much.
Thank you, Rector, professors, students. It is a great pleasure to be back in Bruges. As an alumnus, I'm getting goosebumps just seeing how happy you are and such an emotive moment. I'm representing Meyer-Brown, a global law firm. With Meyer-Brown, I've been coming to Bruges over the last 5 years to the career day to interview candidates for an internship. And I have to say this is a terribly humbling experience because students of the College of Europe are so bright, so good, so insightful, responsible, with incredible CVs, that I always just get terribly impressed. You will all now go to Brussels, most of you, to national capitals, and when you look back in 10 years at the promotion anniversary, you will see that you have great jobs, incredible positions. I mean, future general directors from the commissions, ministers are among you. Those who won't have such an incredible career will still have incredible positions. On top of that, you have incredible friends for life. So you have to feel, as he was said today, extremely privileged. But I would like to say that when you go to Brussels or to a national capital, the beginning of your career is going to be extremely tough or challenging, as we like to say. Just that don't feel despair, because this time will pass and you will find your way. And please enjoy this long holiday which is coming, because it may be the last holiday you have as a student. That's very important, very, very important. And I just would like to have a final reflection, which is that in the time in which populism is growing everywhere, you all share an understanding of the project of European integration. Use it. And while I was at the college, in each of my papers, I always wrote down this phrase from Jacques Delors: Europe is a state of mind. It may never leave you. And after this, I'm very glad to give the Mayer-Brown Business Prize to the best master thesis on the impact of business, on competition law on business. And I'm very glad to say that we share the views of one of the largest corporations in the world, Google. So the award goes to Miguel Ángel de Diego Martín.
The next prize to be announced will be presented by Mrs. Kalina Boshkova, and it will be the Microsoft Award for the best thesis on information and communication technologies. Please.
Hello, good afternoon. First of all, congratulations to everyone who is graduating today. I'm sure you're very excited, and I promise you even more exciting days are coming up for you. I'm here on behalf of Professor Jean-Yves Art today, who is also teaching at the university and is the Assistant General Counsel of Microsoft here in Brussels, but unfortunately he wasn't able to attend today. At Microsoft, we greatly value the relationship with the College of Europe, and we would like to thank you for providing us with the chance to introduce this award today for the best thesis in information and communication technologies to one of your numerous and bright students. We are honored to be able to contribute to their academic pursuits in one way or another. We've already met a few times over the year during our joint events, and we hope to keep seeing you in the future as we have different engagement activities with your alumni network, and we hope to stay in touch. At Microsoft, we want to empower every person and organization on the planet to be more and achieve more. And today we would like to congratulate Juan González Moya Fernández. Okay, I couldn't finish my word. Hold on. I had to follow one of the previous examples and say your name in the end, but okay. So congratulations for your outstanding work on your thesis, the data subject consent under the General Data Protection Regulation and its interplay with the consumer law. We want to thank you for your effort, as this work is aligned with an issue of great importance, not just for our company, but for the whole digital industry. And your approach is particularly realistic, with very relevant references to German law, and provides a real clear perspective for further contribution to the issue. So thank you, Juan, for your effort, and we hope to stay in touch. Good luck.
I would now like to ask to come to the podium Mr. Leo Hoffmann-Axtelem, who will actually present the prize of the Transparency International EU Prize for the best thesis on the European Union's role in anti-corruption efforts, transparency, integrity and accountability of the EU institutions. Please.
Thank you very much, Rector Moner. I'll be short, as I know that the ceremony can feel a bit long after the rough nights of celebrations in the last days. In fact, I was in this situation 2 years ago, and I remember that Bruges can descend into a bit of a festival towards the end. And also a good friend was visiting back then 2 years ago and is now among you graduating. So I want to say congratulations to you all for this special day. This is the first time that Transparency International is awarding a thesis prize. And Transparency International, for those who don't know it, is the global campaign on anti-corruption, for transparency, for public integrity and good governance. And we have offices in 100 states around the world. But broader than just the I wanted to take the opportunity to remind everyone that, of course, there's a lot of civil society organizations, non-governmental organizations that work tirelessly every day to advance the public good, and that beyond public service for the institutions, there's also the opportunity to change the world and to strive for your idealistic goals as part of the civil society. So I would really say that the defense of the public interest depends on also getting the brightest graduates and motivating our fellow students from the College of Europe to work with us. So some of you have also devoted their thesis to these topics, and the thesis prize actually comes with an invitation to the TI Summer School, which will be held in Vilnius in Lithuania. And the very best thesis that we have selected is the one of Magdalena Ljubinova. Congratulations.
Would now like to ask Dr. Kaliagazi to present the Untitled Award for the best thesis on EU enlargement policies. Please come forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Rector Monar. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am from TÜSİAD, Turkish Business and Industry Association. I represent TÜSİAD internationally and also in Business Europe, Confederation of European Business. The list of your awards, I don't know if it was on purpose or not, but they represent very well the challenges of the 21st century. Digital economy, transatlantic relations, democracy, terrorism, immigration issues, cyber security. There are very important challenges ahead. And we believe that European Union, to meet these challenges, has to be a larger area of democracy, rule of law, market, energy, and security. And it has to be also a deeper union. So this is all about better managing the differentiated integration, a variable geometry Europe. It's a big challenge, but in an expanding global order, Europe cannot shrink. Therefore, this is the purpose of our award for TÜSİAD, the thesis on the enlargement of the European Union. And this year's award goes to a thesis on a comparative economic analysis between Poland and Ukraine, as well as the impact of the European integration process is concerned. So, Ms. Lena Konch.
So now follow several awards where the pleasure to announce them has been transferred to myself. There is a Union for the Mediterranean Award for the best thesis on Euro-Mediterranean relations, which goes to Matthias Schilvasi. The prize consists of an internship, so congratulations for these Mediterranean cooperation perspectives, which will actually open up to Mr. Schilvasi. Then the next award is the EU ISS Award for the best thesis on the EU's common foreign and security policy, the common security and defense policy, and the EU external relations. This prize also consists of an internship at the EU ISS, and it goes to Alexandra Thor. Alexandra Thor is not here today because she is a student in our European Interdisciplinary Studies program in Natolin, but congratulations to her even over the distance. Thanks very much. And then I have the pleasure to announce the winners of the prize of the Dipartimento Italiano di Politiche Europee della Presidenza del Consiglio dei Ministri for the 5 best Italian students. And the winners of those prizes are Caterina Molinari, welcome again. Altea Cenciarelli, Lucia Ondoli, Alessandro Petti, and Gaetano Lapenta. Special day for you. The prize consists of internships in the Presidenza del Consiglio dei Ministri, and I would like to actually use the occasion to thank the Italian government also for the long-standing good cooperation on this and other projects. Then would like to announce the ESC Award for the best thesis on the role of the actors of the civil society in the European decision-making process. And this prize, which is of an internship, goes to Anne-Sophie Wislotsky. Then there is a prize who will only be decided finally in October, which is the Global Competition Law Center Prize for the best thesis on competition law and policy. So you can see that the decision-making process is a very thorough one because it's still going on. I would also like to ask whether in the meantime Thomas Pellerin has, yes, he just arrived. He, I think, was delayed by some traffic problems. So we appreciate all the more his fighting through his way to the college today, who will announce the Jacques Delors Prize for the best thesis on a subject relating to the European project. Thomas, please. You're welcome.
Bonjour à tous, je suis la dernière personne qui reste entre vous et vos représentants, donc je vais être bref. Je suis très honoré d'être là, je suis un ancien du collège et maintenant je travaille pour l'Institut Jacques Delors, qui est un laboratoire d'idées, comme on dit au Québec, et un think tank, comme on dit à Paris, sur les questions européennes. Et nous sommes basés à la fois à Paris et à Berlin. Nous travaillons avec le Collège d'Europe, notamment pour vous rendre accessibles les archives de Jacques Delors, pour que vous connaissiez mieux l'histoire de l'Union européenne et que vous voyiez à quel point des choses qui ont été écrites dans les années 80 ou 90 sont actuelles aujourd'hui. Notre mission plus globalement est de poursuivre l'action de Jacques Delors pour une Europe unie, solidaire et au service des peuples. C'est dans cet esprit que nous avons fait ce prix et c'est la première fois que nous le donnons à un étudiant du collège. C'est un prix qui comporte en fait 3 récompenses. Une somme de 1 000 €, un stage pour travailler avec nous dans l'équipe de Jacques Delors, et aussi la possibilité de transformer ce mémoire en une publication pour que cet excellent texte que j'ai ici puisse être lu par des centaines et des milliers d'Européens. Pour finir, laissez-moi paraphraser la fin de ce mémoire qui pose une question que je trouve très pertinente aujourd'hui. In the end, it is not a question of whether the European Union will stay as it is or not. It is also a direction of travel. We could continue to experience if we think that it sort of works. We can ask ourselves, how much further can we take the experiment? So the author of those lines is also the winner of the prize, and it is Marine Borchardt.
C'est le premier prix Jacques Delors et je voudrais tout simplement ajouter que j'avais invité le président Jacques Delors de contribuer à une allocation à ce moment spécial de l'année, mais voyager est devenu un peu difficile pour lui. J'espère de pouvoir faire bénéficier la prochaine promotion d'une visite du président Delors qui, pendant bon nombre d'années, était le président du conseil d'administration du collège. Encore une fois, merci pour l'établissement de ce prix. We now move to a different part of this ceremony. Now it's the time of the representatives, the student representatives, and Sasha Dakov and Alessandro De Giacomo will actually speak to you.
Goedemiddag and good afternoon.
Bonjour et buongiorno.
Dzień dobry i dobry dzień.
Buenos días y bom día.
Guten Tag und grüß Gott.
Wow, Sasha, 10 months have gone by so fast.
Yes, Alessandro, that's so true. And now we stand here and we have to hold a speech. Are you ready for it?
Bien sûr, mais j'espère que l'audience va tolérer notre fort accent parisien.
Pour commencer, nous voulons remercier Monsieur le recteur pour avoir toujours une oreille ouverte pour nous, les étudiants.
Un remerciement tout spécial va à l'administration du collège, à la bibliothèque, au service des langues, sans oublier l'ICT, l'Office des affaires des étudiants et l'Office des carrières. Nous voulons aussi remercier les directeurs des études et les professeurs qui nous ont enseigné et qui nous ont permis d'élargir nos connaissances tout au long de cette année. Et notons également avec gratitude le travail important des soutiens de l'assistant académique. Un grand merci est destiné à la cantine de nous avoir nourris et aux residence ladies pour leurs soins maternels. Et bien sûr aux night watchmen qui ont détruit l'ambiance de nos soirées ponctuellement à 1h du matin.
Et puis, un grand merci à chacun, à nos familles et amis, pour le support indispensable au cours de cette année. Finalement, mais pas avec une moindre importance, merci à nos camarades, étudiants, qui ont fait de la promotion Chopin une année inoubliable.
Mais revenons sur les derniers 10 mois. Quelle était ton première impression ici?
Alors, quand je suis arrivé ici, j'ai appris que j'allais habiter au Liban. Une résidence aussi décrite dans la Bible du collège sous le nom d'Australie. Faisant référence aux incroyables 25 minutes à pied, bien éloigné de toutes dans cette ville géante.
Moi, j'avais plus de chance, comme à Biscayer. Il était plus rapide d'aller à pied que de sortir mon boulot pour aller au cours.
Alors allez, raconte-moi. Est-ce que cette expérience t'a aidé à te faire des amis pendant ces derniers 10 mois?
J'espère bien. Comme les personnes hors du collège ne se rappellent plus à quoi je ressemble, je pense.
Pourquoi ça? Ne rentrais-tu pas les week-ends à la maison?
Les week-ends? C'est quoi ça? Pas du tout. Mais au moins, je n'avais pas les cours d'italien le dimanche après-midi.
Waouh, c'est très intense. Mais j'espère que tu as appris beaucoup cette année.
Tu veux dire, à part de la biographie de Chopin? Concrètement, je suis maintenant marié au traité européen, en espérant qu'ils ne changent pas leur personnalité au cours des prochaines années. Qu'en est-il pour toi?
Alors, j'ai appris comment monter rapidement les meubles Ikea. Mais à part cela, mes thèmes de conversation préférés maintenant sont la peste, les relations commerciales internationales, le mécanisme européen de stabilité, l'identité européenne, les référendums sur différents thèmes. Et oui, j'en passe. En parlant de cela, as-tu lu les récentes conclusions du Conseil européen sur l'accord entre l'UE et la Turquie?
Well, thank you for your presentation.
You're welcome. But each department at the college also has its own characteristics. Our Harry Potter sorting hat has only spoken in March at the Irish party.
Yes, indeed. The sorting hat divided our departments into Law, Slytherin, Paul, Ravenclaw, Echo, Hufflepuff, and IRD, Gryffindor. So tell me, how did the Slytherins year go? Did our lawyers even come out of their dungeons yet? With their overwhelming workload?
What the heck? You mean those? You mean those with job contracts already signed in January? They have definitely been the most desired one throughout the semester. Some of them are still stuck at the career days interviews, I've heard. But Ale, what about the Paul Ravenclaws? I guess through your close connections you can tell me more about their moment of the semester.
Well, from the intelligence I've been gathering throughout this year, I can tell you that they loved clubbing in Strasbourg with professors and assistants, beers and ribs in spring, presque tout, sauf la pesque. But you know, this is politics.
And what about our central bankers-to-be, those from Hufflepuff?
You mean those who are daring enough to go on a study trip just before the exam session starts? They had a lot of fun playing werewolf at the European Central Bank. And the brave ones even enjoyed the real Frankfurt sunrise. Speaking of the brave ones, Gryffindor, what was the best Club Med, aka IRD moment this year?
I think one of our best moments together was the Swiss fondue in Geneva. Numerous speeches and a night full of dancing. I even had the honor to start our new IRD tradition of opening the evening with a Viennese waltz with our head of department, Professor Stern. It was a pleasure sharing the stand with you, Professor.
Oh, I think I even recorded that. But it will always stay within Gryffindor, don't worry, Professor.
But beyond our departmental divisions, every Thursday night, we've all been the same, in our beloved Chopin.
Oh yes, our student bar at Good in Hand. Rumors say that we have had the best bar committee ever at the college. They truly managed to make every Thursday night special, but totally ruined our Friday mornings, including this one.
I'd say we totally lived up to Alexander Stubb's words during our opening ceremony at the beginning of this year. Play hard,
work hard. Absolutely. Also thanks to the best college band ever, Les Ré Parfois. The first college band to tour all residences, together with the choir and the barco. They really made our Christmas celebrations amazing here at the college.
Talking about Christmas, unfortunately, we have been the first promotion without official Christmas trees in the residences. However, this fact didn't prevent us from living up to the tradition of the Christmas tree stealing. St. Joris even managed to steal 3 at once, but they didn't succeed in keeping them.
After the Christmas break, the diverse national groups allowed us to travel, at least culinarily speaking, all over Europe and even beyond. Starting with the well-organized German speakers, to the lively Portuguese and Hispanic societies, from the tea-drinking Irish over the French champagne experts, to the vodka ambassadors from Poland and Ukraine, from the Olympic Hellenics to the open-minded Northerners, from the European neighborhood to the traditional Turks, and from the culturally rich Arabs to the beer-loving Benelux countries. Besides that, our host families helped us to feel home in Belgium. So did the Italian society, in my case, especially in the past week. But all these diverse national weeks and folklore traditions really compensated the long and cold winter in Bruges.
This was truly important. Winter's coming gets a whole new meaning here in Bruges. It never really leaves.
The hardest was surviving bike rides on these wet cobblestones, circumventing tourists and paparazzi on boats, while not being distracted by the constant bell ringing in this medieval Disneyland. But let's admit it, this place will always stay in our hearts.
So true. Now we can even proudly say, Ik ben een Bruggeling.
True. Leaving the bubble, the Bruges bubble, might seem hard at the moment, but many of us will just trade it for another bubble, slightly more powerful, slightly more hectic, and probably more vivid, the Brussels bubble.
Oh yes, maybe we can manage to get an unpaid internship there. And those who return to their home countries or other European hubs will also actively contribute in our common dream of building a stronger Europe. This way, we can also follow the example of our promotion's patron, Chopin, of being truly integrated Europeans.
Especially today, we should never forget what Europe is about, building bridges rather than walls or fences. Here at the college, we also reinforce the idea that love and friendship go beyond borders, nationality, race, sexual orientation, gender, or religion.
This is why it's also called the College of Love. But this also goes beyond romance. It's truly representing the close friendships that we've been able to form over the last 10 months, which will hopefully endure forever.
Our vision for the Chopin promotion is to live up to the motto, United in Diversity, a motto the college and the union stand for.
We would like to conclude this speech by quoting a great European personality, Winston Churchill. His words truly reflect this moment.
Now this is not the end.
It is not even the beginning of the end, but it is perhaps the end of the beginning.
Sorry for the Chopin joke. Thank you. So we put that on. Gracias. Gracias.
I would like to thank the representatives not only for this excellent, humorous and warm speech which I just gave, which gave you a glimpse of the year at the college, I think, and a lively glimpse of the year at the college. But also I would like to thank the representatives really for the very constructive cooperation throughout the year. The student representatives at the college have a vital role to play to actually pass on messages from the student body to ensure that students' perspectives, wishes are taken into account. And I must say that this year we felt we had a group of student representatives who defended with determination the students, the Chopin Promotion students' interests. They never hesitated to bring up issues, but they also did so always constructively, always with concrete proposals, and always with willingness to make the college as a whole an even better place to live and study. And I would like to very much thank the representatives for this. And there is a small recognition. With the college too.
Come over here.
Thanks. Thanks very much. Thanks very much again. Thank you. Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So before I declare the academic year formally closed, I would just like to add that I think the series of prizes which have been awarded and the subjects on which you students of the Chopin Promotion have worked during the year shown the enormously wide intellectual horizon of the work which you have done during this year. And I think the common message in all these thesis works which you have done and in your coursework is that cooperation across borders is absolutely essential within Europe and between Europe and the world. The alternative to cooperation is decline, stagnation and conflict. You students of the Chopin Promotion are carriers of a message. You have experienced the whole range of benefits, the potential of cooperation yourself. You have strived to maximize during your year already this spirit of cooperation. Take this message with you outside of the college, in your professional life, in your personal life. Cooperation is key to the future of Europe and the world. Be carriers of this message. Thank you and all the best for your future. I declare the academic year of the Chopin Promotion closed. Thank you.